Today on OC News, heightened security, parking structure and street closures, and counter-protests. It's all part of the planned event on campus tomorrow night by the College Republican Club. We'll have the very latest info, including a live interview with the CSUF Republicans Club faculty advisor.
The first indictments are handed down in the Russian investigation. Trump's former campaign manager enters a plea. In sports, what a game, what a series. We will have highlights from Game 5. All this and more. OC News starts right now.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us at OC News. I'm Cassidy Jo Fortin.
And I'm Roxana Ramos. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
Preparations are underway at this hour for the arrival of controversial speaker Milo Yiannopoulos. As you probably know, he'll be speaking tomorrow night in the TSU. The event has sold out all 800 seats. This speaker has sparked a wide range of reactions, and we have team coverage tonight, including heightened security, campus closures, and counter events and protest. We begin with increased campus security. OC News reporter Vince Adamson is live at the Titan Student Union, which will be partially closed tomorrow. Vince?
I'm outside the Titan Student Union, where it is currently barricaded with fences behind me. Students are flocking in and out of the Titan Student Union now, but it will be closed tomorrow at 2. The campus will be taking extra security measures regarding the event for Milo's speech tomorrow night. The CSUF College Republicans Club tweeted a link to the Free Speech at CSUF website, which includes information about what objects and behaviors will be prohibited at the Troll Academy event. According to the event website, ticket holders will be subjected to security screening to look for a number of prohibited items. Food, beverages, and large objects like skateboards, bicycles, and anything larger by 30 inches by 30 inches are prohibited. Weapons, including toy weapons and pepper spray, as well as incendiary devices like matches, are also prohibited from entering the event space. Certain behaviors will also not be tolerated during the speech, according to the Free Speech at CSUF website. Guests of the event are asked to be respectful and not rattle the barricades or cause a disruption. Individuals who disrupt the event will be subject to liability and costs if it results in damages. President Mildred Garcia issued a statement regarding security to her students. There will be increased law enforcement presence on campus on the 31st. Please subscribe to the university's emergency notification system to receive security notifications related to not only this event, but also future upcoming events. You may do so through the portal. Even with prior altercations at Berkeley with Milo Yiannopoulos presenting, Cal State Fullerton students are confident that such actions will not take place on campus while he attends.
No, because this isn't the Bay Area, so even if people tried, even if people told people to get violent, no one would follow through with that, and we can't get the numbers as they did in Berkeley, so no, we're not worried about violence coming out on that.
The campus police department failed to comment on the issue due to being busier than usual with the upcoming event taking place tomorrow night. This is Vince Adamson for OC News, signing off.
Cal State Fullerton will remain open tomorrow afternoon and evening, yet many students have told us that their classes have been canceled. Some nearby schools are also closing early. OC News reporter Chanel Riggin is live and tells us parking might be difficult tomorrow all day. Chanel?
I'm on campus in front of the State College parking structure, and as you can see on the sign behind me, school officials are preparing to close the State College parking lot down later this evening in preparation of the appearance of Milo Yiannopoulos on campus tomorrow for part of his Troll Academy tour. Now, although the State College parking structure will be closing down this evening, school officials have let students know that classes will run as scheduled both this evening and tomorrow. We are hearing that some professors are opting to cancel classes as a result of the controversial event. So we caught up with students enrolled in Tuesday classes to get their stance on whether or not classes should in fact remain in session.
Obviously, the only reason I could see for campus being closed is like maybe a danger factor for physical injury, I guess. But other than that, as far as having someone controversial speaking at school, I don't think it should really affect the day-to-day activities of students.
I will be attending my classes, and I also think classes should remain open, and freedom of speech should be okay on any campus.
My classes aren't canceled, and yeah, I'm going to go to them. My professors canceled classes, and I'm paying money for those classes, and because of that, I feel like I'm losing money. And at the same time, since professors have such a set curriculum for their classes, we're going to be behind, and so I have to work harder.
Now, although campus will remain open and classes will run as scheduled, there are portions of the campus that will close down to help accommodate tomorrow's event. As I said, the State College parking structure will close later this evening along with Lot D and remain closed through the 31st. The Titan Student Union will close tomorrow at 2 p.m., the Student Rec Center at 4 p.m., followed by Titan Shops at 4:30. Now, if you can see on your screen where lots A, E, and G are located and the tops of the Nutwood and Eastside structure, those will remain open with additional assisted parking to help with the excess traffic. Now, if you're a student that's planning on being on campus tomorrow, be sure to plan ahead to accommodate the campus closures and the excess traffic that we will be seeing. Campus will reopen on Wednesday, November 1st. For OC News, I'm Chanel Riggin.
Dean Kazolias is the faculty advisor to the CSUF Republicans Club at Cal State Fullerton. John Antonio is here to speak to him about the upcoming appearance on campus of Milo Yiannopoulos.
On the eve of controversial guest speaker Milo Yiannopoulos arriving on campus, we're joined live in studio by Dean Kazolias, Professor of Communications. Dean, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you.
All right. Great. So I know you're also the advisor for the College Republican Club. I'd just like to discuss with you, with Milo arriving on campus, what was the main objective in bringing the guest speaker to Cal State Fullerton?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, John. The first reason is simple, that the idea that is that free speech is free speech. The Constitution basically guarantees free speech. Understand, it doesn't say free speech that's not offensive. It doesn't say free speech for what agrees with the majority. It doesn't say free speech was popular. Rather, it says free speech is free speech. Milo is known in the past year or so to be highlighting the issue of free speech on campuses, standing up to this idea that basically what's politically incorrect can't be said, or if somebody calls what you're saying offensive, that your speech can be stifled.
Okay. Well, in Cal State Fullerton, what has Cal State Fullerton done in regards of you being comfortable with your speaker of choice?
A number of things. First of all, I want to say that, you know what, John, I am really, really proud to be a Titan. Basically, as Dr. Garcia just said in her statement, CSUF has really stood up for free speech. Again, it's the First Amendment. It's free speech and freedom of the press, why we're able to be here in this studio. So CSUF, what they said was, well, we don't agree with the values of the speaker, that free speech is free speech. And I can say, I thank the university across the board, from the academic side, the logistical side, that they've been very, very helpful, that they've stood up for, first, a commitment to free speech, but second, also a commitment to diversity. I feel that CSUF upheld its commitment to diversity and tolerance by basically making sure that all political voices, even those that aren't in the majority, are allowed to be expressed.
All right. Well, how would you respond to the students on campus saying and compromising that their safety and well-being will be on campus once the speaker
I want to point something out about that. The first thing is this. What do you think is driving this need for security? It's one thing, and that's intolerance. What's amazing is that those individuals that fly under the banner of tolerance, they're the ones that are often not tolerant of those they don't agree with. In this case, understand that 800 people have paid to hear a speaker. That's it. But what we have is that those on the left, what they do is this, that they say, oh, we find him offensive, or we find what he's saying not politically correct. Because of that, we choose to get violent. And if we get violent, that means he should be blocked from speaking. John, simply what that is that's mob rule. If the mob doesn't like the speaker, then the mob gets to revolt. In a democracy, John, in a democracy with free speech and a freedom of press, the mob can't be allowed to rule.
All right, Dean. Well, we here at OC News appreciate you for stopping by.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And we'll send it back to Cassidy and Roxanne at the desk.
Many people are upset about the controversial speaker coming to campus. 2 peaceful protests will be taking place on campus tomorrow afternoon. OC News reporter Stephanie Stevenson is live with that part of the story.
I'm standing here in the Humanities Central Quad, where at 5:30 tomorrow, there's going to be a unity block party having a peaceful protest against Milo Yiannopoulos speaking tomorrow at the TSU. This event is all about diversity and creating a safe space for students and faculty at Cal State Fullerton. There will be food vendors, live music, workshops, and guest speakers tomorrow at this event. Now, the Unity Block Party wants to emphasize they are all for free speech, but they feel that Milo is pushing his First Amendment right to the extreme and causing fear and panic among the community. There will also be another protest tomorrow at 4 p.m. in front of the TSU. Now, the students who are organizing this want to emphasize there is no room for racism, sexism, or anti-trans hatred on any campus in Southern California. OC News wants to remind you that if you're going to the Milo event or either of these protests, that safety is the #1 concern. Reporting for OC News, I'm Stephanie Stevenson.
Thanks to Stephanie. Cal State Fullerton student Alex Cepeda was shot and killed Saturday morning after a Halloween party in Wilmington. Cepeda was a 19-year-old sophomore student majoring in criminal justice. He was shot twice by 3 unidentified individuals, and he died at 1:40 a.m. The reason behind the shooting is unknown. Friends of Cepeda have set up a GoFundMe page to help his family with funeral costs. 2 men died in chain reaction crash on 22 early this morning in Garden Grove. One was a Good Samaritan who had stopped to help. According to the CHP, a car heading west on the 22 lost control for unknown reasons near Brookhurst Street. An unidentified Good Samaritan stopped to help, and as the Good Samaritan and the driver of the car were standing on the freeway, a third vehicle slammed into them. The 2 men were pronounced dead at the scene. One of the victims was found trapped underneath a car. The driver of the third vehicle was not hurt. The initial car accident is still under investigation.
Paul Manafort has pled not guilty today after he was indicted on Friday on accounts of money laundering, being an unregistered foreign agent, and 7 counts of failure to file reports of foreign bank and financial accounts. Manafort served as Donald Trump's campaign manager from June 2016 to August 2016, but was fired from the position after reports that he received undisclosed payments from former Ukrainian President Viktor F. Yanukovych. White House representatives have distanced themselves from the case by stating there is no collusion between Manafort and Trump's campaign. After court today, Manafort's attorney said, quote, "Well, I think you all saw it today. The president, Donald Trump, was correct. There is no evidence that Mr. Manafort or the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government," end quote.
Well, I think you all saw it today that President Donald Trump was correct. There is no evidence that Mr. Manafort or the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government. Mr. Manafort represented pro-European Union campaigns for the Ukrainian. And in that, he was seeking to further democracy and to help the Ukraine come closer to the United States and the EU. Those activities ended in 2014, over 2 years before Mr. Manafort served in the Trump campaign. Today, you see an indictment brought by an Office of Special Counsel that is using a very novel theory to prosecute Mr. Manafort regarding a FARA filing. The United States government has only used that offense 6 times since 1966 and only resulted in 1 conviction. The second thing about this indictment that I myself find most ridiculous is a claim that maintaining offshore accounts to bring all your funds into the United States as a scheme to conceal from the United States government is ridiculous. Thank you.
Unrelated to the Manafort case, ex-Trump foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos has pled guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russia. Records unsealed today state that Papadopoulos, quote, falsely described his interactions with a certain foreign contact who discussed dirt related to emails, end quote, concerning his opponent during the campaign, Hillary Clinton. Trump has yet to comment on the plea issued by Papadopoulos. After the break, our health desk brings you information on the opiate epidemic.
And we also have sports highlights, including the thrilling Game 5 of the World Series. We'll be right back.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Some are calling our current opioid crisis the deadliest drug crisis in American history. Janae brings us the latest update.
Thank you, Roxana. President Trump addressed our nation's opioid crisis on Thursday by declaring a public health emergency. Recently, the New York Times reported overdoses fueled by opioids killing roughly 64,000 people last year, and doing so at a pace faster than the HIV epidemic did at its peak. The National Institute on Drug Abuse said about 80% of people who use heroin first misused the prescription opioids. Although Trump has verbally acknowledged the issue, his directive did not release any additional funds to deal with the drug crisis. In Los Angeles, hydrologist Mark Hanna has set in motion a plan to turn the vista of Los Angeles' river channel from concrete wasteland to nature center and recreational area. The transformation involves placing a giant inflatable dam near the river's historic bridge. The dam's resulting body of water would drive a 70-foot water wheel with buckets lifting 80 gallons per minute. The buckets would then splash their contents into a landscaped river adjacent to the Los Angeles State Historic Park. Hanna expects a final permit from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers by the end of the year and believes construction could begin in January. If you want to enjoy some of California's natural landscapes now, the National Park Service has waived the entrance fee for any of their parks during November 11th to 12th. Or Veterans Day weekend. Under a new proposal from the National Park Service, the National Geographic reports 17 of the most popular U.S. national parks expect to see entrance fees for week-long passes. See them jump maybe from around $25 or $30 per private vehicle to $70 per private vehicle. If that's outside your budget, head to your favorite parks now, as the price increase isn't expected until 2018. I'm Janae Jensen, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Janae. Foodies turned out for the Chef Challenge in Anaheim. OC News reporter Laura Quinton tells us which restaurant walked away with the top honors.
The Anaheim Garden Walk held their first annual Chef Challenge, where the first 500 people to attend got to try free samples from each restaurant and voted on their favorite.
We really believe in an entertainment concept here, and this will allow our guests to try it out.
More of an experience.
Yes.
Than just kind of a free sample at Costco.
Everyone was excited to try out all of the free booths and enter to win prizes.
We did the photo booth.
And we did the wheel at the House of Blues. And is there anything else?
No, we bought candy at the candy store.
Took our picture with the Bubba Gum shrimp.
Each restaurant put together one of their signature dishes to try to win people over.
But I do think that each restaurant allowed the chef to pick the one that they felt best represented that restaurant.
This was a highly involved community event from the participants to the restaurants.
We have California Restaurant Association Foundation provide the sous chefs.
And the winner was?
First annual Chef Challenge is McCormick and Schmitz.
I'd like to thank all these three gentlemen over here for their wonderful support.
It was a great turnout for the first annual Chef's Challenge. Make sure to mark your calendars for next year. I'm Laura Quinton, reporting for OC News, and I'm going to get back to this food.
A Hollywood star is causing a lot of controversy for his past actions. Abby Fernandez has the entertainment story for you.
Thanks, Cassidy. So a lot of backlash has been thrown at House of Cards actor Kevin Spacey, who Sunday night via Twitter issued an apology to actor Anthony Rapp for his, quote, deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, end quote. Rapp claimed Spacey made unwanted sexual advances towards him when he was just 14 years old. Spacey was 26 at the time. Twitter is upset because Spacey took this apology tweet and used it as his coming out reveal, saying he, quote, chooses to now be, quote, live as a gay man, end quote. But many think it was inappropriate to come out while giving an apology about his alleged sexual harassment advances. The shade has been so hard that many believe that it's the reason why Netflix announced early Monday morning the show House of Cards will be ending after its 6th season. And after 10 months of dating, Selena Gomez and The Weeknd have broken up. I know, guys, it's over. Some are attributing the breakup to Gomez's recent hangout with Mr. Justin Bieber. They were spotted attending church together and grabbing breakfast over the weekend, but sources say that indeed Jelena is not back together and that Selena and The Weeknd, quote, have been going back and forth for a few months about their relationship, end quote. And in some other news about Halloween that's happening tomorrow, guys, a lot of celebrities have been going all out this week for Halloween indeed. Some that Twitter approved and some that Twitter didn't. The most notable award goes to Bruce Willis, of course, who came out late Sunday night wearing a matching baby blue dress with his pal portraying the creepy twins from the movie The Shining. They are creepy, guys. We also saw Demi Lovato all over social media, who channeled the late Selena Quintanilla, featuring the famous red bodysuit. Well, red party suit, sorry about that. And of course, we also saw Kim Kardashian's West multiple costume changes over the weekend, featuring Cher, Madonna, and the controversial costume of the late Aaliyah. This costume had many calling her out for cultural appropriation. And well, that's all we have for entertainment today. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Abby. Coming up, an OC Women's Organization hosts their annual Christmas party.
More news is on its way to you after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What a crazy Game 5 in baseball last night. Sarah Hidalgo has more on the World Series story and much more from the past weekend.
Thank you, ladies. I'm Sarah Hidalgo, and today I'm giving you, our viewers, a sports recap from this weekend. Now, let's start off with what's on everybody's mind, the World Series. This has been a series full of back and forth action, and last night was no different. Did you guys watch last night's game? I did, and it was absolutely a crazy game. And the Los Angeles Dodgers and Houston Astros faced off last night in a critical Game 5. The Dodgers took the lead early in the first inning, 3-0, starting off with pitcher Dallas Keuchel, and held the lead until the bottom of the fourth inning when the hit parade began.
High fly ball into right. Back at the wall. It's gone. Bellinger with a 3-run home. Another 3-2 and a high fly ball. Deep left center field. At the wall. Tie game. Unbelievable. Altuve. Into center. Springer. That's past him and to the wall. Kike Hernandez will come all the way around. Digging for third is Bellinger. And the Dodgers are back on top, 8-7. High fly ball, goodbye. One pitch to Springer and we're tied again. Altuve into left. This ball is over the head of Peterson. Digging for third, Bregman. They bring him home. The throw. Late. Astros lead. 9-8. He lifts it into left. Down the line. At the wall. Goodbye. That is hooked down into the corner. At the wall. It's gone. It is a one-run. Taylor ties it. 12-12.
Wow, with all of that craziness, the Dodgers were able to storm back in the top of the ninth and tie the game late, 12-12. After Astros relief pitcher Joe Musgrove was able to pitch a clean top of the 10th, the Astros offense came right out and got to Kenley Jansen.
10th inning. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher. Throw by Ethier. Astros win it in 10.
Game 5 set many new World Series records. First off, it was the second longest game in World Series history. It was 5 hours and 17 minutes in front of a capacity crowd at Minute Maid Park. With 7 home runs hit in Game 5, this series shattered the 2002 World Series record for most home runs in a World Series. The record was previously set in 2002 between the Angels and Giants with 21, but now the record currently stands at 22. The Astros will now travel to Los Angeles to play a potential series clinching Game 6 tomorrow, October 31st. But if the Astros lose to the Dodgers, the World Series will go into Game 7, where the winner of Game 7 will be crowned the 2017 World Series champions. And in other sports news, the NFL is halfway through their season, and some teams are already showing playoff potential. The Los Angeles Rams are tied for the best record for the NFC West division with a record of 5-2. The Rams had a bye week, and despite not playing, they were able to hold on to their division lead. The Rams will play this week on the road against the New York Giants on Sunday. And of course, our other local LA team, the Los Angeles Chargers, are 3-5 in the AFC West. They played against the New England Patriots yesterday and lost 21-13. The Chargers got onto the board first when quarterback Phillip Rivers handed off to running back Melvin Gordon, who rushed down the right sideline for an 87-yard touchdown to give the Chargers a 7-0 lead. But the Chargers quickly lost the lead when Patriots quarterback Tom Brady connected with a wide-open Rob Gronkowski for a 2-yard touchdown, tying the game 7-7. Chargers kick return Travis Benjamin made a horrible play when he decided to run backwards into the wrong end zone and give up a safety. This shifted the momentum into the Patriots' favor, which led to the Patriots' 6th victory of the season. The Chargers will have a bye this week and hopefully take the time to get their minds back into the game. After their bye week, the Chargers will be on the road to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars on November 12th. Now let's tune into our very own local and Cal State Fullerton athletics. Last week, our reporter Nathan McHugh sat down with our new women's basketball head coach, Jeff Harada, to discuss expectations for this upcoming season.
When Cal State Fullerton offered Jeff Harada the women's basketball head coaching position, he knew it was an opportunity he could not pass up.
Like I said, timing, things happen for a reason, and when this opportunity came up, for me it was a no-brainer.
Coach Harada spent the last 3 seasons as head coach of Division II school Central Washington.
We're very competitive, and we're up there challenging for the top of the league and potentially a Big West championship. I'm still living it, so I always tell people this: I can't believe they pay me to do what I do. This is my passion. It's what I love. Love being around the kids. Love teaching. Love the competition. Just love everything about the sport. I'm at a great institution. I have a great administration that supports me and my staff and my program. And again, I've worked really hard to get here. I promise you that we will compete. We will play hard. We're going to play the right way. We're bringing in high-character kids. It's been almost 20 years in the making, and now that I'm finally here, I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to staying here.
Reporting for OC News, I'm Nathan McHugh.
Thank you, Nathan. We wish our women's basketball team the best of luck this season. You can watch them back in action on November 11th for their first game against Santa Clara. This is all we have today for our sports recap. I'm Sarah Hidalgo. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Sarah. An Orange County women's organization known as JLOC hosted their 42nd annual Christmas Company boutique event last weekend. OC News reporter Justin Wheat has more.
The 42nd Annual Christmas Company Shopping Event, hosted by the Junior League of Orange County, California, or JLOC, took place this weekend, showcasing unique exhibitors and special events that revel in the time spent with friends, colleagues, and the community. JLOC is comprised of 550 members striving for an Orange County community in which health, safety, and education of everyone is promoted and supported.
You know, I think anytime you can try to give back and work in the community, that's always just a win-win.
JLOC's mission is to promote volunteerism, to develop the potential of women, and to improve the community through effective action and leadership of its trained volunteers.
Junior League of Orange County is an all-women's community service organization where we help all different needs in the community. So whether it be foster youth, the food bank, human trafficking, we have a bunch of different types of organizations that we support, and all of the fundraising that we do here today goes towards all of our projects in the community. Yeah.
JLOC trains its members to be leaders in the community while partnering with various community organizations. It's through their legacy of dedicated members, strong supporters, and collaborative community partners, in addition to over $7 million raised since their inception, that has allowed JLOC to help shape the Orange County nonprofit community for more than 60 years.
So TCC, which stands for the Christmas Company, is our biggest fundraiser, and what Michaela was referencing is a commission of the sales of the entire event goes straight to our projects, and that's why we put on this huge fundraiser. It normally takes about 9 months to put it all together, so it's a huge commitment, but once we get here and we see the event and everyone's so happy, that it's worth it.
With OC News, I'm Justin Wheat.
The 18th Dia de los Muertos took place this past Saturday, October 28th, and was hosted by the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. The cemetery was filled with thousands of attendees dressed in costumes from head to toe. The cemetery was also filled with music from local bands, with Aztec dancers dancing to the beat of the drums. The celebration is to celebrate those who have passed away and took place till midnight.
We would love to hear from you, and you can contact us with story ideas. Find us on social media under the handle OC News CSUF. That's all for OC News today.
Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week on OC News. We hope you have a wonderful Halloween.